Hello guys, welcome back to Comic Book Cafe, and today we are reviewing Death of Wolverine number 2. Now Death of Wolverine number 1 kind of left you lackluster at the very end. You're like, okay, this is set up, this thing's got to take off in issue number 2, and unfortunately it didn't take off the way I wanted to. Listen, this is the Death of Wolverine, this would be some big grand thing, and it doesn't seem like a grand thing. It doesn't seem like anything like you'd think it would. I mean, this is the death of a big major character in the Marvel Universe. But in this, obviously in this comic book, as from the teaser, the cover, the last one, of course, Viper is in this comic book. Now, basically this comic book starts off with Wolverine pretend to be a guy who has the Iron Man helmet. Was it the Mark 12? The one right before, the one that, before. This is the last one, not what Tony Stark's wearing now, but the version before of the Iron Man helmet, because he only has a helmet. He uses this as bait to get the guy, to show the guy, and then eventually get to see Viper. And of course, she used to be his ex-wife and everything else, so, of course, she freaks out. And little does he know that she does have somebody in her control, and that would be Sabretooth. Now, one of the things that gets me about this with Sabretooth is that Sabretooth has heightened senses, but he does not sense there's anything wrong with Wolverine. That Wolverine, beat up all of our guards with a sword, didn't use his claws or anything. He didn't sense anything wrong with that. And they get in a little fight. Turns out bad for Wolverine, his eye. Sabretooth sticks his big claw in his eye and everything else, and Wolverine's all messed up. And ultimately, of all things, he gets saved by Lady Deathstrike. And then right after she saves him, she then realizes she makes a mistake, because she's like, wait a minute, how come your claws aren't drawn? How come you're not healing? And then Kitty Pryde shows up, puts her hand through her, with little powers, and that's just how they end it. So there really wasn't a lot in this book. Again, this story so far seems very lackluster, and the last two issues better be make up for it. Now, the only details they gave you was that Lord in Japan is one who actually made the contract, because Viper, that Viper had made the contract to keep him alive. Found out she did not. Somebody else in Japan was, I can't remember his name, somebody in Japan, and so now that's, of course, where he has to go. The only teaser for the next cover is Kitty Pryde with a sword in her hand. That's it. So, not a lot to really talk about in this book. Quite honestly, it was really nothing going on. It was really a boring story. You got Wolverine dying, and there's no dramatic, making a big deal about what he's going through his last days. It's just, hey, he fought, and he does this, and so I thought they could have handled this much better. I mean, this is supposed to, I've said it already, but this is supposed to be a grand event, the death of a major Marvel character, and these should be grand events, and this doesn't feel like a grand event. This seems like a side story or a minor story. This doesn't feel like a major event. This is where I think they're making a mistake with this, but we'll see how it ultimately ends. Anyway, love to hear your guys' opinions if you actually read this comic book, what you thought of it. And like always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting, rating, and subscribing. I really do appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys again later.